Good afternoon, folks. Jordan here at the Nutty Gnome Homestead. Today is April 16th, 2023, and we had a couple of inches of rain last night. And we're out here today in our garden. We're getting ready to plant some beets for the year. Now, we like the Detroit red beets, and what we like to do is put them in real thick, and then we start to thin them out in about a month. You can start collecting the beet greens for your salads in about 35 days or so, or whenever they get about 6 to 8 inches in height. The beets should be ready between 55 and 70 days. So what we're going to do is we're going to just finish out this this little row. It's about 25 feet, and we're going to put 3 rows of beets. Now for the spacing on this, beets are a cluster of little seeds, and they will oftentimes come up with 2 or 3 at a time. So if you can zoom in here, each one of these little clusters has multiple seeds in it. You might have 2 to 4, sometimes more. So what we're going to do is we're going to plant these heavy in these little makeshift rows, and then we're going to come back and thin. We raked up some of these rows and then top dressed them with some compost. We're just gonna use our hands, not afraid to get dirty. We're going to try to get these seeded pretty heavy in here, because I know we're going to come back and we're going to thin them out. Now the fact that we had a little bit of rain last night is going to make this a lot easier for these to germinate. So we got these 25 feet already planted. There's 3 rows. The rows are about 6 inches apart. What we're going to do now is we're going to come back in and we're going to gently cover these up and pat them down to make sure there's good soil contact with each of the seeds. This shouldn't take very long. We'll have this triple row of Detroit red beets planted here in no time. As you guys can see, we still have plenty of green from our cover crop. We got our turnips going to seed, our canola's going to seed, got some onions and garlic that we missed, but kale. Anyway, we plant our beets, a cool season crop, right into this. They will grow, and then here we got a pretty good stand of mostly turnips, some canola. Anyway, these beets are a cool season crop. They thrive in the cooler weather. They do well. They bulb out and get to about 3 inches, 3.5 inches in diameter. You can pick them whenever they're larger or smaller. It's up to you. I find if they get larger than 3.5 inches in diameter, they do tend to get a little woody. But just like our turnips here, we grew hundreds of pounds of turnips last year, and we still didn't go through all of them. There are some that we chopped and dropped already. So this is just how we plant our beets. Try to get them out there while we can, while the weather's right. Got enough moisture in the ground to get them to germinate in a couple of days. I think it's supposed to be about 70 degrees tomorrow, so that'll definitely help. So that's really all there is to planting these beets. We stick them in the ground. We make sure that there was either a rain or it's right before a rain, because these beets require a lot of water to germinate. After about 10 days to 14 days, we're going to start seeing little green sprouts coming up. And this will let you know if you need to go back in and seed in between if you missed a few spots. This triple row, 25 feet long, should produce a couple hundred beets for us throughout the season. We're going to come back in about 3 weeks and we're going to plant another 25 feet. That way, so we have beets all throughout the spring, summer, and then we'll plant another crop in the fall. When we come through here and we start harvesting beets and beet greens, we're going to start taking every other beet. By doing that, you are going to allow the remaining beets plenty of room to start growing larger, healthier bulbs, and they're not going to have to compete so much for resources. Now, you guys noticed that we top dressed this. There are some weeds coming up. Well, they're kale, we've got some mustard, there are turnips, and a couple other remnants of our cover crop. This is all going to get terminated as soon as the flowers are gone. We're going to come through here and chop them all down before they go to seed. We're going to use a chop and drop method where we're just going to chop these down by hand. We're going to lay the green mass over, and it's going to suppress the weeds in the summer. So that's how we do our beets here on the Nutty Gnome Homestead. If you guys like this kind of content, I'd appreciate it if you like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions about planting beets or producing beets or beet greens, feel free to shoot me a message or leave a comment down below. Till next time, get out there and plant your beets. Y'all stay safe.